Hello there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from artery.com. First thing I want to do is excuse my voice. I hope it's not too irritating, but I've had this horrendous coughing virus that's plaguing the UK at the moment. But I am starting to feel better, and I did want to get this up because, well, I'll explain why in a minute. So for a while now I've been wanting to try this. It's the precision glue press from My Sweet Petunia. And I do have physical issues, and I thought I would try this because I've seen a lot of reviews on it, and people say it does help them to apply the glue without hurting their hands or affecting arthritis too much, and just things like that. So get the negatives out of the way first. The biggest negative you may think could be the cost. It isn't cheap. And it's up to you to decide whether you think it's worth it or not. It cost me about £35. You may not think that's worth it because of what goes into it. I mean, it's that. But it has been custom made, and I think research, development, prototypes, design, testing, all of those things, from what I can gather, it costs a lot of money. So I do understand them trying to gain some of that money back, and I suppose I would have to bump the price up for that reason. Another negative is that a lot of glue manufacturers won't sell glue during the winter months. They will only sell it through the summer, because this kind of glue apparently does not travel well in the cold weather, and it can become sort of thick and gloopy. And this is slap bang in the middle of winter at the moment, so I'll see how that goes. Another thing, it's not meant to be confused with a hot glue gun. This is not a hot glue gun. This is just a way to apply glue in an easier way than sort of squeezing a bottle, especially a large one, because I use this for a lot of stuff, and sometimes it can be quite hard to squeeze it out because I like to use the fine tip, and it can be quite something to try and squeeze that out, because it does take a lot of effort. So I did open it up, and the reason I wanted to do this is because I opened it and I gave it a little try, but the next day it's when I fell ill. So this has been out now for about 10 days. It's just sort of been sitting out. It comes with a bottle already filled with glue, and it comes with another one with a refillable bottle where you can put other glue in it. The tip on this, I don't know if you can see, it's not quite as fine as the fine tip one. It is a little bit wider, but you can put other glue in here, and it does, if you can see there, it has, it has the tip, like the needle there, that goes into the hole at the top. One thing to mention, I do like to use this a lot in my card making, the Collal glue. But it is a solvent glue. You can't put a solvent glue in these bottles apparently because of the way these are constructed or what they're made with. So you can't use that. I am trying to keep away from it a little bit because the fumes are quite toxic. Even though I love the glue, it does have a quite toxic smell and the fumes. And with it being winter, I don't have my windows open as much as I should. So I'm trying to stay away from that at the moment. And I thought I would give this a try. So as I said, if you lift that off, there's, I don't know if you can see there, it has like a silicone rest, and the tip of this rests on the silicone. Now you can see there, it does have a little bit, it's not a blockage exactly, but the glue has settled a bit on the outside. So I'm going to see what happens when I remove that, to see if it's had any effect on how this works. So basically what you do is you take it and you just squeeze it gently. Right, see, that's not coming out now. I'm going to try and put the needle in it, see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit come out there. But like I say, this is winter and the glue could have become quite gloopy. But when you put it in, make sure that that clicks in like that. And make sure when you're resting it that there's nothing gets under there, gets in the way of that resting on that silicone rest there. So I'll give that another go. Yeah, so that's all that was. Basically that's been there for 10 days and it hasn't dried out the ink, and it is extremely easy. And even though it is winter and it probably is a bit thicker than it should be because it did travel in the cold, that's coming out a lot better than I thought it would after it's been sat there for so long. So I just made this, put that back in there, and that goes on there quite conveniently. So I just did this the other day. It's not a card I'm going to use for anything, but it's a card base and a matte layer. So this is thin cardstock, this is like a medium weight, and this is a heavy weight. So I'm going to try it on all of them. The reason I like my Kalal glue is because it doesn't buckle the paper, because it's not water based. But with this you can put tiny, like thin amounts on, so I'm hoping that it's not going to buckle the paper. So I'm just going to put little bits. Oh, that's coming out lovely. Yeah, that's coming out really nicely, that. The only thing is, I might not get as much wiggle time because the glue has come out quite thinly there. So I'll just have to try and get it on as best I can before I press it down. Yeah, you get a little bit of wiggle room, so that's okay. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, that doesn't look as though... Yeah, that doesn't look as though it's buckling the paper too much. I imagine if you put a load of this on, like straight out of, for instance, this is a glue I already had, and I think the opening is about the same as in the spare bottle that you get. So I'm not sure what it would be like if it was like a thicker layer of glue, but at the moment that hasn't buckled the paper, the card on either side, so I'm quite pleased with that. So just finished putting that on. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I do like this. This is my first time properly using it, and I like how you're not getting a load out. Oops, I put it on the wrong bit. I should have put it on the back of the black, but I'm not well, so forgive me. There. So yeah, that's stuck really nicely. Like I say, I put it on the wrong bit. I should have put it on the black panel instead of the white card. But yeah, that was nice and easy to use. That was really nice. And it dries clear, as you can see there. It's drying nicely there. So I do have some other glue. What kind was it? Let me have a look. It's this Cosmic Shimmer. And this is, I've had this so long. It's one of the first glues I bought, and the top sort of came off, it broke. So I might put that in there and use this before I use this new glue, just to get this used up. So I'll see how that goes anyway. So I do feel that if you have issues with your hands, with your strength, I do feel that this is going to be decent if you can get past the cost. Now, if I were a glue manufacturer, perhaps in the winter I would sell this just with 2 empty bottles instead of 1 full of glue, just in case that the glue didn't travel well. When you go to put the cap on, say you've finished and you go to put the cap on this, give the sides of the bottle a little squeeze, because that brings the glue, any glue that's in there, it'll bring it down into the bottle. And then it shouldn't gloop up into the end there. But this Nuvo glue, this was made specifically for this bottle, the Nuvo glue bottles. So again, that's probably why it does cost quite a bit. But I like the fact, excuse me, I like the fact you can put the bottle on there, because it is easy to lose your glue bottles. You can put that in there, give it a click, and then you can rest it on the silicone rest, and you don't have to worry about it drying out. I've seen videos where they've left them out, it's been left out for weeks and weeks, and it still hasn't dried up the glue. So that's my little take on it. It was very easy to use. I do like it. They're the pros and the cons. It's entirely up to you whether you want to spend that kind of money. And as long as nothing is blocking, as long as nothing's under there blocking it, then you can leave this out. You can leave it just sitting on your desk, and it's going to be really handy. You won't have to keep taking off the top all the time, the lid. You can just take it out and use it whenever you like, and it's just great. I'm really pleased I bought this now. I wasn't sure at first, but yeah, I like that you can get really thin lines of glue, and I imagine that the glue in here would last a long time because of that. So during the winter at least, I'm probably not going to be using my trusty Kalal glue because of the ventilation issues, because it is toxic. It does have a toxic smell, and you are supposed to use it in a well ventilated room. But this glue is apparently non-toxic, craft glue, and I think as well, if you do have physical issues, it's up to you whether you think it's going to be worth it or not. But I like it. I like the fact you get a spare bottle. I like the fact that it squeezes out a nice amount of glue. It comes out very easily, and I think in the long run it will save glue, because when you're squeezing a bottle, it's really difficult to get an even flow of glue. So to me, this is worth it. Whether you think so or not, I'd be interested to know. So do leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.